What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Saturday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. If you are watching this podcast, my name is Matt Perrault. You might think that I'm in a hostage situation. I'm okay. All of my equipment is currently boxed up and not available. So I'm using my old school camera and one light. So if you're watching this video, you might be like, what is going on with Matt and why does this look so different? I promised you by tomorrow for our live stream with myself and Pat Fitzmaurice, everything will be put back together. I'm going to get up in the morning and put it all back together, but it's late at night. I'm tired and I'm not going to do it for today. So we get the podcast out and we have a live show coming at you at 9 o'clock in the morning Pacific time, noon Eastern for Wild Card Weekend. We will go through all 5 games, including 2 that we played coming up here today, 3 to be played on Sunday, and 1 to be played on Monday. I'll have a couple of player props that I'm going to give you as well on the live stream at noon Eastern time on the BettingPros YouTube channel. But in the meantime, if you're listening, this podcast sounds exactly like it always sounds. There's no difference. If you're watching it, you might be like, what am I looking at? But you guys were mad yesterday when I did it on my computer. And everyone was like, oh, that video is too close. Why is that so close? My gosh, I feel uncomfortable how close you are. Okay, so now we're back to the normal distance, but we're on the old camera. And with the old camera, we have only one light, and that's why I look like I'm being held hostage. So I'm perfectly fine. There's no worries. It's just, poor lighting. This is what happens when you have one light. And it's like it should be swinging like in one of those old, FBI negotiations or, hostage situation videos. I'm okay. I promise you, we're all good. But last night we go, well, I guess technically 1-2, but kind of like 2-2. Ohio State's alive to win the national championship. They are monster favorites. It's the second biggest spread in the history of the college football national championship game, where we have Ohio State laying 9.5 points now against Notre Dame. They should beat the Irish. They will cash that 1 unit. That will make up for the 1.1 or the 1.2 units that we lost today. So it's really going to be a 0.2. It's a 10-day delay to cash that in. Texas may have had a shot to cover the 6, but instead they, run the ball laterally when they have the ball on the 1-yard line. Okay, sure, Sark. Brilliant play call there. And then the fumble return for a touchdown, and Texas does not cover. Ohio State wins and wins by 14 points. First half under comes in here for us. We got both semifinals first half unders correct. Minnesota got destroyed on the road against Wisconsin. That was a bad bet that didn't come in. So 1-2 on the day, down 1.2 units, but that future is alive with Ohio State, like I mentioned. So we should be okay with that. All right. Let's get into these games. Let's start with the Chargers on the road against the Texans. There are a couple of trends worth noting that should be pointed out. The Chargers are playing their third consecutive road game. Third consecutive road game. They went to Vegas. From New England to Vegas, now to Houston. According to the Action Network, since 2003, teams who are on the third game or later of any road trip are 45-71 straight up. That's less than 40%. Uh-oh. Teams are 5-12 straight up over the last 3 seasons in these situations. However, it's not a playoff game. Okay, it's playoffs. This is a little bit different. When the game is played in the playoffs, even worse. 11-27 straight up. That's 29%. Yee. Teams that are 500 or worse, or 500 or worse straight up or worse in each of the last 19 seasons when it gets to be a playoff game. So here's the Texans, who are banged up, who are reeling, and no one's giving them a shot. Numbers 2.5 now. Why? The pros like Houston. Chargers as a road favorite. Justin Herbert is 14-9 ATS as a road favorite, including 7-1 in his last 8 games being a road favorite. He's also 12-4 against the number as a road favorite when he's playing in either the Central Time Zone or the Eastern Time Zone. They're playing in the Central Time Zone. Obviously, the wildfires and everything that's happening in LA, major distraction for this team. No debate it. But They say they've got everything kind of in order and they're okay with this. We've got a really good offensive game plan for the playoffs, if you will, for the Chargers. Run the ball. J.K. Dobbins is questionable. J.K. Dobbins needs to be in this game. If he's not, it could be problematic. Here's the issue. C.J. Stroud is not good as an underdog. He's actually really good. But as a guy who plays top defenses, up against top defenses, he just doesn't play well at all. And that's a big, big concern for me. They scored 2 points offensively, or 2 points in general or overall, just recently. The Stroud-led Houston Texans won this game against the Browns. They were 2-point underdogs at home in the wild card round last year, and they won against Cleveland. I just think this is a different type of situation. I think it's a different coach. Under D'Amico Ryans, when they play Sunday to Saturday, the Texans have done this 5 times against D'Amico Ryans. They're 1-4 straight up. 0-4 straight up NATS this season in that spot. That is not good. On the other side, Jim Harbaugh, when he's on short rest, he's 3-0 straight up. 3-0 against the spread. So here's how I'm going to play this, okay? I'm going to lay 2.5. I think the number's right. Chargers win by 3. I'm going to lay the 2.5. However, I'm not in love with it. In fact, I'm scared to death of it. So I'm going to do something that I don't normally do. I'm going to do a 7-point teaser. That is a minus 140 teaser. That's expensive, but I want to get the Ravens under a field goal. More on that here in just 1 second. And I want the Texans by 10, not 9, by 10. Because there's a chance that CJ Stroud late in the game throws a pick and it winds up scoring a late score for the Chargers, where all of a sudden it was supposed to be a 3-point win and now it's a 10-point win. So I want some insurance on that. So these are the playoffs. You're going to have to pay juice because the books are going to use these numbers with teaser insurance. They know what the handles are going to be. They're going to be monster. So there's a reason why it's 2.5 and 3 and not 3.5, okay? For a variety of reasons. 1, key numbers. 2, teaser insurance, all these things. So I'm not laying 3 with Baltimore. Hold on a second. I'll tell you in a second more about that. And I want this number for the Texans to be 10. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to play a skill shot and try to have the Chargers win by 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. A lot of key numbers there, right? Crossing 3, crossing 7. Do we think the Chargers go in there and kill the Texans? Maybe. If that happens, it kills this teaser. But we get the Charger bet right, so it's kind of a wash if that happens. So I'm trying to do kind of what I did last night with the Texas +6 and the Ohio State win a championship bet. For this bet, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to take the Chargers. I'm going to lay 2.5 with the Chargers at minus 110 for 1.1 units. Then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to take the Texans +10. Tease them up. 7-point teaser at minus 140 for 1.4 units. I'm going to do the other leg with the Ravens. The Ravens and the Steelers are meeting for the 5th time in the playoffs overall in their history. It's the 4th time for Tomlin and Harbaugh to face off. Baltimore won the last meeting. Their first win or cover against Pittsburgh in the playoffs. All time, 1-3 straight up. John Harbaugh against Mike Tomlin. It's not been great. Steelers are reeling. They turn the ball over too much. They can't score. As an underdog of 4 points or more against the Ravens, the Pittsburgh Steelers are 8-1 ATS. 8-1. Under Mike Tomlin, they're 6-1 ATS as a dog of 3 or more to the Ravens. This number is 9.5. 9.5. In the Super Bowl era, according to the Action Network, the Steelers have only closed as a double-digit underdog in the playoffs 5 times. Now, they lost all 5 games outright, but they went 2-3 ATS. Their biggest upset came in 2006. They were 9.5-point underdogs against the Colts. Against Mike Tomlin, Pittsburgh is 3-14 straight up as a dog of 7 points or more. But he's 7-9-1 against the number. As a dog of 8 points or more, they're 1-8 straight up. I don't want to be counting points here with the Pittsburgh Steelers and wondering about a backdoor cover and being petrified that this is a 3-point game all the time. My co-host on the Bostonian versus the Book is a big Steeler fan, former bookmaker as well. He has said that the number for the Ravens and the Steelers is the easiest number to make in the NFL. It's 3 every single time. 3, 3, 3. Now, sometimes you win by more than 3, but the number should be 3. It's 9.5 in the playoffs. Can't get over this. Can't get over this. The Steelers, I don't think, can win this game, but I think they can cover. I mean, in this series over the last 20 years, the underdog is 29-11-3 ATS. 16-3-1 ATS since 2015. And overall, the underdog is 25-9-3 against the number when it's Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh. But the dog is just 1-2 ATS in the playoffs. I don't know what to make of this except the Ravens win. Okay? Ravens win. By how many points? I have no idea. But this is a rivalry game that I don't want to be a part of in terms of watching the number. I just want a W. Pull the Ravens down from 9.5, 7-point teaser down to 2.5. We're going Texans plus 10, Ravens minus 2.5 for 1.4 units. Chargers minus 2.5. If we're wrong about the Texans plus 10, the Chargers is cover, okay? There's your cover. So we're trying to skill shot to hit them both. Ravens, I think, will win the game minus 2.5. Minus 140. I am equally pulling the Ravens as part of a moneyline parlay. And you guys know I never do this. But I can't see the Ravens again, we have the future ticket on the Ravens at 12-1 to win it all. I've been all in on the Ravens. If the Ravens lose to the Steelers, it wipes me out. Okay, just straight up wipes me out. It's a brutal, it would be awful for me. Okay, but so be it. Okay, never bet more than you can't, obviously. But it would be really depressing if the Steelers win this game. I'm dead. I would just cry. It will be horrific. Can't see it. I've been riding the Ravens for so long. Let's continue it. Ravens, Bills, Eagles, money line. 3-leg money line parlay. Those last 2 bets happen tomorrow. So there's a jump start on the bets for Sunday at plus 113. All right. So we're live at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time for myself and Pat Fitzmaurice. I'll have player props for today to give you guys. We'll talk about all the games, all 5 of them, and break them down. But for today, for the Daily Juice podcast, our plays are Chargers minus 2.5 for 1.1 units. Go and find a plus 3 and tease it up by 7 points to 10. There's some discrepancy in the market right now. Some 3s, some 2.5. Find the 2.5, lay the Chargers, find the 3, and tease it up. Texans plus 10, Ravens minus 2.5, 7-point teaser at minus 140. And then the Ravens money line, Bills, and the Eagles to plus 113. 1 unit play on that 3-leg money line parlay. I'm telling you right now, I'll be betting more than 1 unit on that bet. Can't see those 3 teams losing. I just can't. Maybe the Eagles get shocked, but I can't see it. I just think with the at home and the rest they have with Saquon and everything else, Packers so banged up. I just can't see the Packers. Maybe they cover. Can't see the Packers winning that game. Number's up to 5 now, by the way. It was 4.5 earlier today. Now it's 5 for the Eagles. Just money line. Money line Eagles and Bills tomorrow. Bills and the Broncos. I can't see that either, but we'll have more on those games on the Sunday Daily Juice. I'll explain Washington, rookie quarterback. Bo Nix, rookie quarterback. I will talk to you at noon Eastern time. Myself and Pat Fitzmaurice on the BettingPros YouTube channel. We will hit you with a live stream for Wild Card Weekend. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt every single morning. It's the Daily Juice Podcast.